Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. Tesla is now a much bigger car company than Volvo is today. How is that possible? Why didn't Volvo just grow in size just as Tesla did? Well, to understand that, we have to understand how a disruptive product changes an industry. What happens in a paradigm shift? And why the old guys from the old paradigm cannot grow before they are 100% shifted over to the new technology of the new paradigm. This is why Tesla is growing in size, but everyone else is shrinking in size right now. Because Tesla is not only making the new product for the new paradigm, but Tesla is also innovating on how the product is being produced in the new paradigm, which make Tesla a very unique player in this game. And I know there is a lot of discussion about the EV market versus the ICE market, and others are saying that there are not two markets, there's just one market, the car market. But I would say they are both right, because that is what happens when a disruptive product enters a market. So let's check it all out and let's dive right in. I hear a lot of people talk about there are not two car markets. There is not the EV market and the ICE market. There is only the car market. True, but there is something very important to keep in mind. The EV, the smart car, is a disruptive product to the car market. Just as we saw with the iPhone, there were not two mobile phone markets. There was only the mobile phone market, but the Apple product was so disruptive that nobody really wanted to buy the old mobile phones. Everyone wanted the so-called smartphone. So even though the big mighty Nokia had 1 billion customers, it didn't help them to survive. They could stand there all they wanted with the old technology, but nobody wanted to buy them. But Apple's iPhone and Android's phone could just grow as fast as they pretty much could produce the damn thing. And that is how they in only 7 short years overtook the whole market. And the mobile phone market was pretty much saturated with smartphones. And the new companies had found their place and size in that new market. And because the old boys were not able to keep up with these changes and innovations, it is no longer the big boys that are the big boys in the mobile phone market anymore. When have you last seen a Nokia phone or Sony Ericsson or Motorola or BlackBerry? Now it's some new players that are ruling that market, like Apple, Google, Samsung, OnePlus, Huawei, and so on. So here we see a great example of the king of the hill, Nokia. They could not just come in and outsell the new guys, because they didn't have the same great technology as the new kids on the block, and it didn't make sense for the so-called expert in the industry. But that is usually the case. It is the experts of the old industry, of the old paradigm, that are wrong, because they were in a paradigm paralysis. They can't see the data because it does not fit their understanding of the world. And a very important point about a paradigm shift, as we have seen with the iPhone and are seeing right now with Tesla, the new paradigm replaces a prior paradigm. Replaces. All the old ways of thinking don't matter anymore. All of their expertise from the prior paradigm doesn't apply anymore. That is why the experts are always the ones getting it wrong, like Steve Ballmer, former CEO of Microsoft, that said there is no chance that iPhone is getting any significant market share. No chance. or Bloomberg analyst in 2007 that said the iPhone's impact will be minimal. It will only appeal to a few gadget freaks. Nokia and Motorola has nothing to worry about. Oh boy, yes, they were the experts and analysts and couldn't have been more wrong. But it just didn't make sense to them. Why would anyone buy an iPhone for $600 when they could get a Nokia for $100? And because they were experts, people listened to them. And their argument was that the experts are telling me that blah blah blah. Yes, the experts of the old paradigm that is being replaced. All of the old way of thinking does not matter anymore. This is just so important to understand when you are trying to do some thinking on your own. Who are you actually listening to? Experts from the new paradigm or experts from the old paradigm? Very, very important, because the experts from the old paradigm will probably lead you down the wrong path. As we see, someone like Ford and GM, they thought they should only produce about 160,000 each by 2026, only back in 2020. Boy, were they wrong, and led their companies down the wrong path, which was too slow. Jim Farley and Bill Ford have even been out saying now that Ford has to change everything about how they are running a company for more than 100 years. This is a very good sign for Ford. They are actually realizing that all their know-how and expertise is worth nothing in the new paradigm. Just as we see with Bob Lutz, who were a big expert in the old paradigm, but has gotten everything wrong about Tesla and the electric revolution so far. And not many people would have bet that Apple, the computer company, would today be bigger than Nokia ever was in the mobile industry. But that was what happened, and a very good showcase of a disruptive product that changed a whole industry can come in and grow to become even bigger in the so-called new market than the old boys ever were in the old market. This is actually a very common thing when we see disruption happen in an industry. The new king will usually become bigger than the old kings, and even the market many times becomes a bigger market, as we have seen many times before, because the new technology is much better than the old one, so more people wants it. This is also why we see Tesla being able to do what they do. And by that I mean Tesla is now a much bigger car company than Volvo is today. How is that possible? Why didn't Volvo just grow in size together with Tesla? Why is it only Tesla that is growing in units and everyone else of the old boys' sales combined, EVs and ICE, are shrinking? Well, because Volvo don't make only the iPhone. They also make the Nokia 3310. And nobody wants the Nokia 3310 anymore. They want the smartphone, the new smart car. So Volvo could grow, but that would mean that Volvo would have to grow its EVs faster than their ICE sales will be collapsing. If Volvo only sold EVs and could produce 1 million of them in 2021, I am sure they would be just as big as Tesla in 2021. But they're not. Just as we see Mercedes is producing 2.1 million cars a year, that is where we expect Tesla to be next year. Why aren't Mercedes, this big prestige player in the game, not able to just grow as a car company to keep up with Tesla's growth? Well, because they have found their place and size in the old paradigm. And 95% of what they sell is still the technology from the old paradigm. They can only become bigger if they switch 100% to the new paradigm's technology. But this is simply not possible overnight, and unfortunately most of the old boys didn't see this one coming, as usually happens in a paradigm shift, so they probably don't have the time to do it now. Maybe someone like Mercedes that is not too big and have said they will have a target of being fully electric by 2030, but that also means that Mercedes will not be able to grow its company's size before 2030, because that is when they will be 100% over to the new technology in the new paradigm. But Tesla, on the other hand, has no connection to the old paradigm. Tesla is the disruptor and is only producing the new product that will replace the old technology. So as long as the others are not 100% EVs, Tesla will be able to continue to grow. And Mercedes and Volvo are some of the fastest to make this switch, and they don't expect to be 100% before 2030. So Tesla will be able to continue to grow with their insane pace for at least the next 8 years. That is why Tesla will be able to become bigger than Mercedes, even Volkswagen, even Toyota has ever been. That is why the possibility of Tesla producing 15 to 20 million cars is not impossible, just because the old boys in the old paradigm couldn't get any bigger, that the new king of the new paradigm could become even bigger than what we have ever seen before. And actually, because the old boys are moving so slow, they are actually helping Tesla to have the room and time it needs to make this insane scale. Because the big boys in the old paradigm are moving so slow, but sits on a very big piece of the pie in the old paradigm. So if they don't move fast, and the biggest boy of them all, Toyota, is hardly moving at all, that will just make more room for someone like Tesla and all the other new kids on the block to steal market share of the new car market. And it is not like the new kids on the block do not have great technology. Just look at Lucid, that couldn't beat Tesla in a straight line, but maybe that new version will. But look at the Porsche Taycan here, getting its ass kicked by two youngsters on Porsche's home turf, the performance arena. This is what Porsche was known for, speed and acceleration, and has now been taken to school by two young kids. And Rivian's R1T even has better performance than the Ford F-150 Lightning and GM's Silverado. But the new boys, of course, have to show that they can survive the production hell, as this industry is capital expensive and does large manufacturing, not just a little smartphone. So here there is no guarantee that just because you have the new technology that you will be a part of the new paradigm. But this is why, no, they're not two car markets, but their car market is facing a paradigm shift, and the others will not be able to grow before they have made that shift 100%. That is why we are referring to the EV market and the ICE market as two different markets, because one of them is replacing the other technology. So it's not wrong saying there is only one car market, but at the same time it's not really wrong either to say that there is an EV market and an ICE market, because one is going to eat the other. Hope this made sense to why the old legacy boys like Volvo cannot just grow to keep up with Tesla, and why the old boys dragging their feet will actually help Tesla in the long run to how big Tesla can become. And the big reason why Tesla is able to do this is that they do not just innovate on the product itself that will be in the new paradigm. They even innovate on how it is produced in the new paradigm. That is why even the new kids on the block are not keeping up with Tesla, because they have the new product but are mostly making the cars the old-fashioned way from the old paradigm. And that is why no one yet has shown the innovation in the production that will make them able to keep up with Tesla, even the new kids. So Tesla will be able to grow at a pace the world has never seen before in the car industry, as they have already done, to become a bigger player in the car market than the industry has ever seen before. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.